Coming up on First at 4, we'll tell you about a program in Hindman that is making instruments and saving lives even after the flood. Plus, a former New Mexico House of Representatives candidate is facing multiple charges in connection with a string of recent shootings.
Plus, showers have come to an end for now, but more showers and even some storms on the way for the second half of the week. The breakdown on the way as Mountain News First at 4 starts right now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, there's a program here in the mountains that is stringing lives back together one guitar at a time. CBS's Mark Strassman was in Knott County recently to learn about these handmade instruments and the resilient people who are making them.
The locals say Hindman, Kentucky is known for two things.
Hindman town, where the mountains ring.
Music, a point of pride here.
Where the rain comes down with the troublesome sound.
And crystal meth, an Appalachian sorrow.
That was my main priority from the time my eyes opened. As soon as I woke up, that was the first thing, was wondering where I was going to get my fix for the day. I just didn't think about anything else. I was consumed in that world.
In a place like this, is it hard to get drugs around here?
Yeah, you could go about anywhere and find anything you was looking for.
Nathan Smith was 18 when he tumbled off the back of a work truck. Surgeons rebuilt his body, but painkillers, then meth, broke his will and poisoned his future for the next 20 years.
I knew that if something didn't happen, that I was either going to wind up in prison or I was going to be dead.
In Knott County, Hindman is the hub. Nearly 700 people scraping by in one of America's poorest pockets. Even the local creek is trouble. In fact, it's called Troublesome Creek. And back in July, its floodwaters swamped parts of a county where the overdose rate nearly triples the national average.
I'd say it's probably about as bad as it gets anywhere. It's a crisis here.
So the candidates for the school that you run is almost never ending.
Sadly, we'll probably never have any lack of people that are eligible to go through the program.
Doug Naselroad is a guitar maker by trade and a drug rehabber by circumstance. He has 12 employees, all former drug users, some with felony records. They entered a county rehab program and enrolled in the School of Luthery as part of their recovery.
I wonder how deep that goes.
Oh, it's kind of...
You think the rolling pin sander would take that out?
Since 2012, Naselroad has taken them in, taught them woodworking, and helped them learn to love guitars, mandolins, and dulcimers instead of heroin, meth, and opioids.
What is it about making guitars that helps people?
The nature of making guitars it's a long curve. The gratification is not instant.
Opposite of drugs.
Opposite of drugs. You have to commit a lot of labor-intensive hours to building a guitar, and you have to come back week after week after week. They find something else to fix on, they find their gratification in it, and as time goes by, the memory of the drug gratification gets smaller, and the hope of Luthery gratification gets bigger.
You have to sand this.
Smith started here in 2017 and became the program's first full-time employee.
A lot of people, they find out that you've been on drugs, something like they look down on you. And Doug's never done that. With everybody that comes through the door, he gives them a chance.
What about making guitars surprised you?
I guess it was just the craftsmanship that goes into them. When you see what you can create with your hands, it lifts you up and lets you see that there is things you can do without using.
Over the last 10 years, more than 200 recovering drug addicts have come through this program. they've helped build string instruments sold to music stores across the country. Like Smith, they've learned to master lutherie and build a second chance. Most do. The program has a 71% success rate so far.
71% success rate is also a 29% failure rate. And there's some heartbreak that comes in. I have to remind myself, not everyone can succeed. Some people are just not able to break free. I have hope that in their lifetimes they will be, but maybe not necessarily while they're with us.
They redone the building we moved into.
Smith is one of the success stories. He's remarried, started a new family, and became the father he always wanted to be to his 3 children.
Everybody deserves a second chance, and all of us that got a second chance have turned our life around and turned it into something amazing. We make these amazing instruments.
5 years sober.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Thanks.
I want to fly like a bird.
In, of all places, a guitar shop. They've strung together new hope and left what was troublesome to the creek.
When it comes to hope, I can sure use some.
For CBS Mornings, Mark Strassman, Hindman, Kentucky.
That story was seen by a nationwide audience today on CBS Mornings.
Well, our showers are gone, but we continue with at least a few clouds in parts of the region as we continue to at least temporarily slowly dry out. Here's a look outside right now from downtown Hazard. Triangle Park, a hub of activity this afternoon with highs in the temperatures in the upper 50s to near 60s. So we are still very mild for this time of year. Take you to downtown Somerset where, yes, just like in Hazard, we're noticing at least a little bit of sunshine trying to break out from the clouds this afternoon. It's 64 right now in Somerset, 63 Monticello, Irvine, Manchester. It remains very, very mild in many places. Still some temperatures in the 40s where the clouds are hanging on in parts of Southwest Virginia, but even parts of the Big Sandy, middle and upper 50s right now. All quiet region-wide. In fact, let's back this out, and we'll show you exactly what's going on region-wide. Not a whole lot, at least at this moment. In fact, backing on out, you see our showers have long since worked out of the region, and we're trying to work the clouds out as well. So heading into tonight, mostly to partly cloudy with lows in those lower 40s, even though that's where we should be for highs this time of year. In just a few minutes, I'll have the details on another threat for showers working in towards the second half of the work week in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. A failed Republican candidate is under arrest on suspicion of orchestrating shootings at homes of several Democratic elected leaders in New Mexico. The mayor of Albuquerque says the police investigation confirmed the attacks were politically motivated. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez has the latest.
Albuquerque SWAT teams arresting a former candidate for the New Mexico House of Representatives accused of organizing a string of shootings targeting his political opponents.
This type of radicalism is a threat to our nation.
Republican Solomon Pena lost his 2022 run for State House District 14.
He came to my house after the election, and he's an election denier.
Pena is now facing charges of paying and conspiring with 4 men to shoot at the homes of 2 Democratic state legislators and 2 county commissioners, according to authorities.
He weaponized those dangerous thoughts to threaten me and others, causing serious trauma.
Representatives for Pena did not immediately respond to requests for comment, and it is unclear whether he has an attorney. Election denial exploded nationwide following the 2022 presidential race, stoking anger and prompting threats of violence among political extremists.
Politicians at our highest level of government continue to make threats and violence a regular part of public discourse. It has real impacts on our democracy and our real lives.
The violence now reaching all the way to the local level.
Shots came through my home right where I had just hours before been playing with my granddaughter.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Back here in eastern Kentucky, following a rescue that took place in the Cromer Ridge area of Laurel County, the London Laurel Rescue Squad is reminding everyone of trail safety tips you should follow when hiking, especially during the winter. It was Sunday morning that the London Laurel Rescue Squad was dispatched to the Cromer Ridge area after a woman slipped on an icy rock and broke her hip. Rescue officials say in case an emergency does happen while you're hiking, you should always stay calm and on the trail until help arrives.
After you contact 911, try not to relocate because 911 can actually get your GPS coordinates and it'll make your rescue much faster. If for some reason that's not possible, maybe it's safety that you just have to move. Try to stay on the trail because our next thing is we know they were traveling from point A to point B, so we'll try to hit that very fast.
Before you go hiking, it's important to let someone know where you are going and what time you plan to be back in case you do not have phone service once you are on the trail. One Leslie County High School student's senior year started out much different than she had imagined. After Jana Caldwell was diagnosed with thyroid cancer last fall, her mom says they were unsure how this year would turn out. But after having surgery on January 5th, doctors say Caldwell is cancer-free. And today, staff and students celebrated her return to school.
She had a lot of people supporting her and praying for her and just being there for her, and it's just been amazing to see what our community and school has just came together.
The school system asked staff and students at every school in the district to wear pink, purple, or teal to school today as they celebrated Jana's return to the classroom. We'll have much more from her first day back tonight at 6. But next year on First at 4, we'll take a look at how egg prices have gone way up and how practical it is to have your own laying hens.
And watching more showers as we head through the rest of the week. The latest breakdown coming up after this.